Yeah, so what if I played too many Nintendo games as a kid? Let's talk power tools. So you want to cut stuff but don't want to deal with chains or floppy hacksaw blades. Cool. Time for you to meet the Milwaukee M18 Hackzall. Is it good? Is it bad? In this video, I'm going to tell you what I like about my M18 Hackzall and whether you should get one. Let's hop to it. First off, a word of clarification here. The M18 Hackzall and the M18 Sawzall are both reciprocating saws. They have similar sounding names and they are very easy to mix up, but they are two completely different tools. This right here is the Sawzall. It's much larger, has a longer stroke length, and it's a much longer tool that requires two hands to safely operate. The Hackzall, on the other hand, is a more compact version and has a one-handed design. This review is about this baby right here, the Hackzall. So let's talk specs. The M18 Hackzall is cordless and uses Milwaukee's M18 line of batteries. It boasts a dual gear anti-vibration system that claims to get you easy and accurate cuts. The Hackzall has interchangeable blades and they are very easy to swap out. Just turn the quick lock blade clamp to release the blade. Take your new blade, turn the clamp, reinsert until you hear the blade click in, then release. It's really that easy. For safety reasons, always make sure that your battery is ejected whenever you're swapping out blades, just so you don't slice your fingers off. The M18 Hackzall cuts at a stroke length of 3/4 inches, and it has Milwaukee's standardized safety trigger lock. Weighing in at just over 4 pounds, the Hackzall is very lightweight. This makes it very easy to hold and use. This is especially useful if you're working upside down, like under a vehicle like I am here. I used mine to cut off this seized castle nut while servicing a ball joint on an old Corolla. The Corolla's wheel well was very cramped, but that was no problem for the Hackzall because its lightweight, compact design allowed me to maneuver the tool at almost any angle to get even the trickiest cuts. That is awesome. I tried to do that with the Sawzall, but I could barely slide under my vehicle with it. It was just way too big and awkward to carry, like holding a giant torpedo. And that, by the way, is the reason why I returned the Sawzall and instead bought the smaller Hackzall. Even my elderly 80-year-old neighbor borrows my Hackzall and uses it for pruning garden hedges, and he has never had any problems with using it. I even used it to cut down my own overgrown hedges with ease. The Hackzall's compact design allows me to sneak in between the very narrow alley between my fence and my garage. That right there is excellent power tool design at work. The Hackzall's battery life is also really good, but proof is in the pudding, so let's do a torture test. No, not like that. I zip tied the trigger all the way down and just let it run. It ran for about 30 minutes without an issue. It didn't overheat. And it still had 1 bar remaining for battery life. I don't know what kind of magic pixie dust Milwaukee puts into their M18 batteries, but they last a long time and just hold up better than the other big box retail brands. And you're probably asking, can the Hackzall cut through metal? The answer is yes. This is an oven anti-tip bracket. It's made out of stainless steel. The Hackzall cut right through it without a problem. I even cut through the snowblower wheel, which is made out of old hardened steel. Also, never buy a 40-year-old snowblower, but that's a different rant for a different day. Same with the strut mount bracket on a car. Hardened steel is a snack for the Hackzall. Awesome. I've also cut through drywall, plaster and lath, and even a small tree. The Hackzall is a cutting monster. All you need is the right blade. Get a metal cutting blade for when you're cutting through metal, and obviously a wood blade for wood, and you're ready to rock. The M18 Hackzall goes right through it. The Hackzall's cutting speed is also variable. A hard squeeze of the trigger ramps up the stroke speed, and a gentle press slows it down. Handy for when you're unsure if your cutting strokes are too deep or not deep enough. So those are the pros of the Milwaukee M18 Hackzall. Let's talk about its cons. The Hackzall has a built-in LED light, but it's pretty much useless. The shoe, which is this gray metal guard, blocks most of the light. You're better off using a proper portable light like this one, which Milwaukee also sells. I might do a review on it, I don't know, but whatever you do, don't rely on the Hackzall's built-in LED light because it's poorly designed, casts a huge shadow, and barely lights up anything. I had the same issue with my Milwaukee mid-torque impact gun. Poor LED placement seems to be a trend with Milwaukee's power tools, so don't expect much from it. As I mentioned, the Hackzall does great in cramped spaces, but you need to be careful when using the Hackzall in cramped spaces. Do not hold it close to your face when you're using it, because if you misjudge your spacing and the Hackzall blade hits a rigid surface, the Hackzall will bounce back, smash you in the teeth, and your dentist will get a new vacation home. But this is not the Hackzall's fault. It's just one of the many safety precautions that you should always be taking when using a reciprocating saw of any sort. With the Hackzall, it's just easy to let your guard down because it's so easy to fit into small spaces. Don't get cocky. Power tools don't have friends. And much to my surprise, the Hackzall doesn't come with its own carrying case. This seems to be the trend nowadays, as power tool manufacturers look for ways to cut costs. And it's too bad because Milwaukee tools are worth protecting. Also, it's just not safe to carry around an unprotected bladed power tool without some sort of protective casing, because if you drop this Hackzall, you will break the blade and damage the floor or foot that you drop it on. I've complained before about Milwaukee power tools having a rubberized type of plastic that absorbs grease and stains. The M18 Fuel Hackzall does have the same problem, but again, tools are meant to get dirty, and any responsible power tool owner will take time to occasionally wipe down and clean their tools. So as long as you keep up with those habits, your Hackzall won't get too grimy. Aside from that, there aren't many deal-breaking drawbacks to the Milwaukee M18 Hackzall. I really like it, and it's one of my most used tools in my garage. It's really easy to use because through almost any material that you throw at it, it's very durable and it has great battery life. If you're a homeowner, hobbyist, or do-it-yourselfer who needs a versatile cutting tool, the Hackzall will cover 99% of your needs, period. I've done all sorts of projects from kitchen remodels to plumbing to automotive work, and my M18 Hackzall always did a great job for me. Now you might be asking yourself, should I get the Sawzall or the Hackzall? I would only recommend upsizing to the Sawzall if you're doing bigger jobs, like demolition work or cutting bigger 4-inch PVC pipes all day long. And even if you're just doing occasional PVC pipe cutting, you can just use a handsaw. A brief word on the M12 versus M18 debate, because the Hackzall comes in both versions. Skip the M12, it's underpowered, and the M18 has a longer blade stroke, so it cuts faster. And in my experience, the M18 batteries last a lot longer than M12 batteries. Just thought I'd mention that because Milwaukee fans love arguing about the M12 versus M18 product lines. The M12 has its uses, but the reciprocating saw is not among them. So that's it. That's the Milwaukee M18 Hackzall. For the most part, it's Zall good. And it's only a matter of time until the other power tool manufacturers start releasing their own imitations of this fantastic power tool. I hope all of you garage dwellers found this review useful, and if you did, click that like button. Your thumb is already so close to it, so go on ahead and click it. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. And tell me in the comments below if you're going with the Hackzall or the Sawzall, or if you found a tool that works even better, because I want to hear all about it, and I could always use an excuse to splurge on a new power tool. Or you can comment if you like old school Nintendo video games and found the intro to be ultra lame. That's cool too. Bye!